I'd like to introduce to you as one of our BMW diesel experts, Tom Beloga, our Vice President of Engineering.
Thanks very much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live Advanced Diesel News Conference. For the next 10 minutes or so, I'll do my best to explain in simple terms the systems that make up our Blue Performance diesel engine. The inventor of the diesel engine, Rudolf Diesel, would have been 150 years old this past March, and his 1892 patent for a combustion machine with high efficiency, as he called it, is as appropriate today as ever. I can imagine that Mr. Diesel would have been thrilled to get behind the wheel of a clean, Blue Performance BMW X5 or 3 Series, and as an engineering degree graduate from the now Technical University of Munich, he'd want technical details. So Rudolf Diesel, if you're listening, and for everyone else out there, here are the details. Over the years, diesel engines have become synonymous with high durability, great pulling power, and excellent fuel economy, but they weren't known for being very clean. You've already heard about the X5's 19 to 26 mile per gallon and 3 Series 23 to 36 mile per gallon fuel economy. But how these two clean diesel vehicles deliver the typical BMW ultimate driving machine performance is not magic. It's BMW efficient dynamics. Let me explain some terms. Blue Performance is our clean diesel engine strategy, and efficient dynamics is our vehicle design strategy. Now, back in the year 2000, years before CO2 reduction talk was in vogue, BMW management took the initiative and created the Efficient Dynamics vehicle design strategy. Efficient Dynamics directs engineering resources to reduce CO2 emissions and improve fuel economy while at the same time preserving our ultimate driving machine performance. We've sold over 1 million vehicles worldwide with elements of Efficient Dynamics as standard, and we know that Efficient Dynamics has already been successful. A US nonprofit group, Environmental Defense Fund, reported that from 1990 to 2005, the BMW Group reduced CO2 in the US fleet more than any other company. And overseas, the European Federation for Transport and Environment reported this past August that we were the best company in reducing CO2 from 2006 to 2007. Now that's great success, but we're still working hard on even more reductions. Think of an engine like a human body. The fuel injection system is like the heart and the blood circulation. The intake system and turbochargers are like the lungs. And the exhaust system is like the, well, human exhaust, you know what I mean. Let's start with the fuel injection system. Traditional diesel engines use a high-pressure fuel injection pump with lots of moving parts and a separate injection pipe to each cylinder. These injection pumps generate some noise, require critical calibration and lubrication, periodic maintenance, and weren't mechanically allowed to inject more than one fuel injection per cylinder stroke. As shown in the illustration, we've eliminated these shortcomings and use a third generation of common rail, ultra-high pressure injection with piezoelectric injectors. It's called common rail because there's just one common fuel feed pipe, or rail, for all 6 injectors. That's the green pipe shown in the illustration. And here on this engine that I have here, it's actually this fuel pipe here on the top, a common rail, common pipe that feeds all the injectors. So common rail just really means that there's no more mechanical injection pump with its separate fuel pipes. No maintenance, less noise, and more control. Now, the diesel fuel injection pressure is 1,800 bar, which is about 26,000 pounds per square inch. The ultra-high pressure means that the fuel spray into the cylinder can be very finely atomized. The smaller the injected fuel particles, the better the burning process because the fuel can better mix with the oxygen. The injectors themselves are of a piezoelectric type. I have one here to show you. This is an actual injector. And the fuel comes in here into the top, goes to the injector body, An electrical impulse is signaled here with a connector, which triggers the injector to inject the fuel out the bottom. Now, these injectors can deliver up to 5 sprays of fuel per cylinder stroke. Multiple sprays of fuel at high pressure mean fine atomization, as I mentioned, and a delivery for peak performance, low noise, and efficient combustion. Because the injection is electronically controlled, critical pump wear, noise, and maintenance are a thing of the past. In fact, the injection system has a feedback loop that allows the system to learn from driving conditions and periodically and intelligently adjust for maximizing performance and cleaner exhaust. There are dozens of sensors that provide a basis for a sophisticated algorithm or formula to learn and adapt to the driving conditions. A low-pressure electric fuel pump in the tank delivers diesel fuel to a high-pressure pump that feeds the common rail pipe for all 6 injectors. The high-pressure engine-driven 3-piston pump is shown in blue on this slide. It's very efficient and very quiet. Now let me explain the piezoelectric injectors. A typical gasoline fuel injector builds up pressure by itself and forces the fuel into the cylinder at about 2,000 psi. As I mentioned already, for fine atomization, the diesel injection requires about 26,000 psi, pounds per square inch, and that would mean a very high-powered injector. So instead, the diesel piezo injector system uses brains instead of brawn. If you look at the fuel injector, you can see a series of pistons, springs, and valves. Many piezoelectric crystal plates are stacked up in the middle of the injector. The pistons and springs are set up so that the injector valve is normally closed and in a state of high fuel pressure hydraulic balance. Here's a simple sketch of that. Now, piezo comes from the Greek word for press, and in operation, when low current is applied to the stacked up piezo crystal plates, they instantly expand and press a control valve, releasing the high fuel pressure on top of the injector valve. This makes the valve unbalanced and it lifts up, allowing high pressure fuel to be sprayed directly into the cylinder. As I mentioned, each injector sprays multiple times per cylinder stroke. In the beginning, only a small amount of fuel is sprayed in. This is called a pilot injection, and it gets the burning process started. Then, more spray cycles occur until all the required fuel is injected. The initial small pilot injection is important for smooth burning to avoid a rapid pressure increase in the cylinder, which would cause noise.